Hello guys, welcome. The first thing we're going to look at in this music theory course is scales. So scales are really important. They're different combinations of chords which evoke emotions in the listener. So we can create happiness, sadness, despair, tension, relief, and all sorts of different reactions from the scales that we use in music production. So I'm just going to insert a new MIDI track by right clicking in the track lane and left clicking on insert MIDI track. The shortcut for that on Mac is Shift Command T or Control Shift T on Windows. So if I were to drag a piano instrument onto our MIDI track, let's bring a audio sample that we can turn into a piano by dragging into our simpler or our new MIDI track in Ableton 11 or 10 or 9. And then we're going to double left click in our MIDI track to create a MIDI clip. We can press Command J to consolidate that, and we're just going to draw some chords. So there's a few different types of chords. There's diminished chords, third chords, scales, minor chords, major chords. I'm just going to show you the 3-5-7 rule. So we have our root note at C3, then we go up to 3 notes above, then 5, and then 7, which should look like this. This is your normal chord. You can now invert these chords. So if you highlight this and take it up an octave by pressing Shift and up, it will now invert this chord, and you get a more interesting tone. We can also invert this chord and get something different. We can also bring this chord down and get something different again. So there's always different combinations of scales and chords. So we're going to look at a little trick in Ableton 11, which I think is a really handy feature for people wanting to learn about scales really quickly. So if we open our MIDI clip track like this and we go over to our clips window, we have the scale button. So if we left click on this button, it really surprises a lot of people that it actually shows us the exact notes that we can play to get a desired scale. So here we have C major. So as you can see, some of these keys are highlighted in light blue, which is the track clip color, and we just want to make sure that each note is in key. So we're just going to make sure that all of these notes are in key, and then we know that we're playing in C major. So these notes are in key, which you can see, this one's blue, 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 blue. And you can even add more notes if you wanted to give a thicker and richer sound in the scale. That sounds really nice. We could even add another one. I'm just making these clips longer to be 1 beat long. So these all sound really nice. You can actually change from your key to C sharp, D flat, D sharp, C flat, D, E, F. Common dance floor chords include C, F, and E. And most dance music, apart from like generic EDM, is in the minor scale, because it's more of it creates more like malice and like tension, and it's easier to release that tension on the dance floor with the minor scale. So that will again change the vibe of the chord and the scale, and then that will give you a different sounding scale and vibe and notes to your track. And then you can change this so it can be C, but there's also other scales. So Ableton has included all of these technical scales. So the most popular ones in dance music are Dorian, Phrygian, and Phrygian dominant. So those are the ones most used in dance music. These are the ones that people are using to get the number ones on Beatport, 2s and 3s on Beatport. But you don't have to use these. They're just the most popular ones for dance music, like I said, and they invoke certain emotions in the audience, such as euphoria, despair to give that tension and contrast, and happiness. So like I said, the EDM kind of stuff can be in C major, which is normally a happier scale. So those are the two main ones, major and minor. So we could go in, F major, or I would maybe write a track in F minor because that's quite popular. So I'll just have to move this one note and now we're playing in F minor, which is fantastic, and you get a really nice rich sound. And again, you just activate this by left clicking on the scale button. Not a lot of people know this is here, so it's really helpful, really great to know that there's a scale button here that shows you all the notes that are in key with the specific scale that you want to write your track in. And you can do it for bass lines, you can do it for pianos, leads, synths, you know, you name it. So thank you guys for listening. That's a quick tip on scales in Ableton. I hope you're having a great day, and I'll speak to you soon in the next lesson. Bye.